Hello. How's everybody doing out there? YDBT, I'm sorry, Jesus, I don't even know what day it is. Talking shit, YDBT Daily or Peasant Chat. Peasant Chat, that's right. We are actually sponsoring Alec Bledsoe and his people over at LMP. We're going to be sponsoring his car. He's going to be running in, I think, like an overdrive transmission class at World Cup. So I'm looking forward to going there. Yes, we're actually officially going to be going after a test session went not so great with Lund Racing's Grey Goose. They found the issue, found the cause, found the concern. They made a audible call because I said I wasn't going to go unless that thing was thoroughly tested, and it's not thoroughly tested. But they are pretty confident. They gathered enough data to go, you know what? Car's going straight. The issue that we came across was something simple. So we're going to go. So we're going to go. And I'll be there to meet Alec Bledsoe. I'll try to bring the camera and try to get you as much film as possible, or video, because there's no film in this. And I'll do my best to get you guys some video, because we're going to be there all week, which blows my mind. If you're getting tuned by me, you're not going to get a fucking tune all week. You're going to be dealing with somebody else, because a lot of the tuners are going to be out and about. So what I want to talk about today is throwaway cars. We have started to see the EV push slow down dramatically. Battery technology has not progressed as quick as people would like. You're starting to see, and I always talked about solid state batteries and charging. If the charging was faster, if the charging was better, it would solve the long distance issue that EVs have. What long distance issue, Alex? Look, I don't care that you can get 400 miles a charge with a long range EV. If you can't fill it up in under 10 minutes or under 15 minutes, meaning go to, Pilot, get in there, boom, boom, get your chips, get your soda, piss, shit, and get back on the road within, 20 minutes, something reasonable, that's going to be the big issue going forward. Now, if not, then you're going to have what I call an inverse of what the horse and carriage did. So the horse and buggy, or the horse in general, back in the 1800s or early 1900s, was the main mode of transportation. They had already shit buckets, troughs for water. The infrastructure was made for horses. But once a car came around, or a horseless carriage, you found out that this thing is way better. It goes way longer distances with petrol or gasoline or something, and you can really do a lot, and you don't have to worry about piss, shit, clip-clop dying, or just having a boner in the middle of your trip to, get some with cocaine, Coca-Cola in it back in, 1920. So this is the inverse. The car that they're pushing down your throat is less desirable because of its inability to do what the petrol or gas-powered car does. I can get in my Escalade right now. I can drive from here to Georgia or maybe South Carolina before I have to fill up. That's like 450 miles. And if I want to make a quick trip, I already got my chips, I already got my soda. I can just literally go in there, fill up in about 5 minutes with 20 gallons of 93, piss, come back out, go another 400 miles. So that right there gives a lot of people pause. So I think you're going to find people saying, let me just find a novelty item, a novelty electric car, a daily driver. And my long range vehicle will still be my gas car. I don't think many households are going to go, let's just go full EV, screw everything else, because they're going to quickly find out, well, what if we want to go to grandma's house Thanksgiving and she's in Georgia and you're in Florida, or if you're in Texas and you want to go over to Utah, or if you want to go to Kansas, or if you want to go to Massachusetts, and you don't want to fly because you don't want to deal with the lines and the bullshit about flying. Well, the EV car, and in this up and coming driving season, which is the holiday season, and you own an electric car and you're driving, you know how, even in the gas world, you know how crazy gas stations get during the holidays, especially off of 95 or off of a turnpike or off of a toll road where there's one stop every 30 or 60 miles. So imagine, instead of having 40 pumps, or if you're at a Buc-ee's, 300 pumps, you now have 20 car chargers that each vehicle is in for a minimum of 45 minutes. So it's an inverse way of thinking about how people used to do horse and buggy stuff, where now people will probably buy it, but they're not going to buy a vehicle, a novelty vehicle that they putt around town with that costs $100,000 unless you're an idiot like me that likes a 1,000 horsepower sedan. Understand, if I buy a Tesla Model S Plaid, it's not to replace my any of my vehicles. It's to supplement, and I will keep every single one of my ICE vehicles. And if I want to go somewhere really far, I take the Escalade or I take the Corvette or whatever. So we'll talk about cheap electric cars that are going to be out there, and you're going to start noticing that it'll mimic some of the old garbage you saw in the 90s. That's right. Escorts, Tempos, Cavaliers. Remember Cavaliers? Remember the Grand Prix? And they actually tried to spruce up those piece of junk cars by making performance models. Remember the Beretta? Remember the Beretta Z26, I think it was? Remember the Cavalier Z24? Remember the Grand Prix GTP? Like, you're going to start seeing BYD, an electric car company out of China, dump junk-ass electric cars that cost under $25,000 in the market, and people like Tesla and everything else is going to be in trouble because these cars have all a similar issue: lack of sustainable range and the ability to recharge quickly. And I started talking about electric cars 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. Battery technology has not advanced that much. I thought we would be into solid state by now. I thought we'd be well into quick charging now. And we're still not there. Now with the outbreak of war, we are at war. You see precious metals. Listen up, kiddos. What happens during war? Northrop and all these guys, Raytheon, and they just start giving artillery to people. So now those precious metals like copper and all that jazz is going to be prioritized for war, not for your electric car or your batteries. So someone like a Tesla, BYD, Chevy, Ford, and Stellantis is going to go, I now cannot find raw materials because of war. They're going to ration shit out. Government's going to go, government stopped exporting guns and bullets. Did you hear about that? Unless you were like some super high-end dude, the government's like, we're going to stop exporting shit because we're at war. And obviously other stuff that's going on. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about throwaway cars that are going to be entering the market. The throwaway inverse of Clip Clop the Horse, of how it used to be. Now the novelty vehicle will be the electric car. And I would blown away if you would have told me 3 years ago, Alex, the electric car is not mainstream. It is now novelty, and it's like buying Clip Clop back in the 1900s. We'll talk about it, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly says hello to the people.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Absolutely. It sucks, Bill O'Reilly. You and I both know it sucks. 2 Auto Solutions, one of the sponsors of the show. 2 Auto Solutions, help the guy in La Dominican Republic go 8 lung-tuned 8-second S550 in the Dominican Republic. Congrats to them. Race Motive on Instagram. Check them out. They have a really cool roll racing program in the Poconos and MIR. I think it's probably slowing down because of winter. Guys, you guys start opening them up down here. Hey, Race Motive, start looking for tracks in Georgia or Florida because we race in the winter. D&H Performance, D&Hperformance.com. Again, if you want to get some kind of discount, hit them up. Not a checkout code. Just say, hey, you're a member of the show, a sponsor, or you recognize the show. We'll see if they can give you a discount. D&H Performance. Partfarm.com. Partfarm on Instagram. 350 still in the air. Conformance. I'm driving that Ram Air. I'm telling you, it drives really good, but once I get fueling dialed in and the weather cools down, we'll see about going way into the 5s. Ultimate Header, UltimateHeader.com, Ultimate Header on Instagram, PMAS, Nick James and PMAS, and Calamo Transmission, CalamoTransmission.com, Calamo Transmission on Instagram. Check them out for all your modern MT82, 3550, but no, T56, Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3. He does it all. Let's say hi to the people and get after it. Dixon Germain, 2000 MCR, Minibag Badman, Dixon again, Ken Phillips, RoboStyle, and Richard Whedon said hello. Darren Harper, Coyote Kelly, Travis, Smack One, Pookie's sliding on the op, says beautiful Sunday morning. Wesley Stewart, Leon Phelps, Smack One, Minibag, Smack One, Minibag again. TJ Sikorsky, Smack One again. Apparently has nothing else to do but just shit talk all day. Joe Jackson, Monty 540, Naldo, Minibag, Monty 540, Whipple Cripple, Mustang Manny, Diego, James Williams, Alex Watkins, Black GT 5.0. You know, I wonder why people name their... I mean, I do it too. My name's 50 Alex everywhere. But, like, YDBT for life is now, like, the main handle. But, like, if you're into fitness, it's like Fit Mike, you know, Curl Mike, Mike Curls, Bench Press Johnny, Michael Loreno, The Wolf, James NJ, Dustin Garrison, Edwin Rosado, 2JZ, Foxbody, Tyler Smith, Gregory Uffich, Edwin Rosado again, Matt Oliver, and Nitro says, hey now. By the way, did you hear that? World Cup told the Honda guys no nitromethane. Now you're going to see 12-second Civics again. James NJ, Abdul Alabasi, Bryson Witt, Josh Roy, Jay Bush, Ken McAllister, Tyler Phelps, JD Swag, Bradley, Justin Martinez, and Milton Perez. Edwin Martinez, puro pinche 956 a la verga. Cuz one of one RTR, Peter Chow, Lex Luthor, Pito Chiquito, Mark Christensen, Mustang G, Alex Underwood, Ken Phillips, No Name Podcast, Christian Sama, Ben Delay, Venom Racing, Monty 540, Gutiyama, Nate Dogg, Bilavesh, Murad, Karatepe, Monty 540, Walter Hoffman, Minibag a couple of times. Okay, so this is the car you're going to start seeing now. The Clip-Clop of the future. The novelty vehicle that is weird as fuck, and people are just... Okay, if you're a Ford guy, you're going to buy a Ford EV. If you're a Chevy guy, you're going to look at a Chevy EV. Not many people are going to buy a Tesla if you're loyal to a brand. If you're loyal to German cars, you're going to want a Audi, a BMW, or a Mercedes EV. If you're an American car guy, well, it's Stellantis, aka Dodge, sliding on the ops, or Ford or Chevy. Not many people go, you know what? I have a Mustang, I have an F-150, let me buy a Tesla. They don't do that. So this is what they're going to be looking at. BYD. Look into it, guys. Go ahead, do yourselves a favor. Just type in BYD on Google. Start doing some research. It is a Chinese electric car company that's going to start dumping absolute trash right down your shit. Tesla's biggest Chinese rival unveiled a ridiculously cheap EV, the $11,000 BYD Seagull. Chinese electric car maker launched the Seagull, a ridiculously cheap hatchback. It costs $11,000 to start and offers up to 251 miles of range, according to BYD. It can charge from 30 to 80% in 30 minutes. This sleek little hatchback is one of the best deals on the electric car market. Don't get your hopes up too much. You can't buy one in America, but in Europe, this thing is going to be all over the place because Europeans are gay, okay, and they are all in on this global man-made global warming crisis we all know is a fucking hoax. Like, nobody on this chat should think man-made global warming is a crisis. If you do, you are ridiculously misinformed. You should do a lot more research before you chime in on that religion. The bargain bin Seagull comes from BYD, a Chinese car maker that's swiftly taken over the country's competitive EV market and making lots of trouble for Tesla and Elon Musk. Again, if you need a car that gets 300 miles range, you're going to go, I don't care about quality. I just need it to charge fairly cheaply. I need it to get me from point A to point B. And if I want to go long range, then I'll just get in my gas-powered car. But this, for people that are cheap as hell, let's say college students, let's say Gen Z, who actually think we're actually causing issues with the planet, they're going to be all in on shit like this. And if BYD starts to sell in the United States, again, guys, the great thing about Papi Trump is Papi Trump put tariffs on, let's just say, Chinese goods because we were getting absolutely hosed with their junk. They're just dumping junk over here. So when Papi Trump was in office, he would say, oh, you want to start selling products here? Then there's going to be a tariff. And he did that to prioritize American goods and American manufacturing. So the throwaway car is here. Now, I grew up primarily in the 90s, my informative years, or let's say 88 to 98. And then, at 99, I was an adult. So 88 to 98, what cars did I see on the road that were absolute junk throwaway cars that my dad probably worked on all the time? Or if he saw one come in, he's like, oh man, fuck that car. That car's an absolute piece of junk. there's no reason to even work on that car. Well, the Ford Escort was the first one. My dad hated Ford. My dad was a Chevy guy, 100%. Cadillac guy. My dad was a Cadillac guy. So anytime he saw this shit roll in, he's like, man, fuck this car. Oh, it's going through antifreeze. Oh, it's going through antifreeze? That thing's junk. Throw it away. What do you mean throw it away? Well, I can either charge you $1,500 for a head gasket situation, or you can go to the, I don't know, name your shitty corner lot and get yourself an Escort. Or a Geo Metro. You know, like cars like this, you're going to start seeing. So the reason I bring these cars up is because the electric car market is doing this weird inverse thing where they're giving you these cars as the main selling point. Whereas back in the day, this was the car you got if you got divorced, ended up in a 1-1, had to pay child support, and you trying to pick up a date in this motherfucker. Could you imagine? You're a 35-year-old man, and your wife's like, oh, I want to go ahead and fuck Billy. Okay, go fuck Billy. Yeah, now I'm fucked. Now I'm out of a house. I got to buy a Geo Metro to go to my shitty fucking job. And you try to get your whistle wet, and you got to pick the girl up in this. Like, and then this is like an upgrade over the Geo Metro. And then this was like a luxury car. Like back, like if you are a 35-year-old man and you still were listening to like, I don't know, Poison, Motley Crue, you're like, you know what? I can't afford a really nice car, but this Beretta, this Beretta looks pretty good. Then you show up to the date. What the fuck is that? It's a Beretta. It's a race inspired Dale Earnhardt aerodynamic. It's an Indy 500 turquoise Beretta. So we're gonna start seeing on the road. Look at this. Could you imagine someone actually spent the money and said, I want this shit. I want the Indy pace car version of the Chevy Beretta. Oh my Lord. And then there was things like the Cavalier, like the Z24 Cavalier. Absolute hunk of shit. Square as hell, but it did have like a 3.8 liter V6. These things were just absolute trash. So we're going to be back in this weird era where you're going to start seeing just spruced up shit ass cars, but the electric, look at that. I mean, I grew up on these cars. Oh my effing God. Do you know how many of these cars I saw in the hood? And then like the creme de la creme, Grand Prix, out of the shit ass cars, this was the creme de la creme of the shit ass cars. The GTP Grand Prix, like 3.8 liter, supercharged, head gasket leaking out the bitch, constant issues, but you know, it kind of looked cool and it had a weird interior. The interior was interesting. Here we go. It looked like, yeah, it was a little too plush in my opinion. Absolute shit ass cars, but you're gonna start seeing these cars on the road in the electric version because people don't want to pay $50,000. If you're a Mercedes person, right? You're an absolute Mercedes person. Well, you're going to go to Mercedes and see what kind of electric vehicle they have. And then you're going to be like, well, why should I get rid of my ICE car if the incentives are going away? The cars aren't made like Mercedes can probably make the best electric vehicle they can, but it is not in their interest to do so. Ford can probably make a really good battery electric vehicle. It is not in their interest to do so. They are giving you hodgepodge, half-ass electric cars. Why? ICE is their bread and butter. Same as Mercedes. ICE, internal combustion engines, they can't all of a sudden full stop and go full electric. They will go out of business. Why? People like BYD have $11,000, 250-mile range cars, throwaway cars. So you saw the push slow down. You saw that massive push just come to a halt, and now they're like, shit, let's change our plan. Even Tesla is redesigning their Model 3 and have drastically cut costs. That's the only reason I'm even thinking about a Model S Plaid. And again, that's not going to be bought until at least after the start of the year. We'll see how taxes and everything shakes out. And I'm not stupid. I understand that tuning, unless this new Mustang you start to hear rumblings of tuning becoming available, you're going to see a bit of a slowdown overall. I mean, a lot of people are going to buy the older vehicles. Old is going to be new. 2011 Mustang, 11 through 14 Mustangs are going to be, I have seen a uptick in 11 through 14 Mustang tuning in my list. I couldn't imagine Brandon Juniors and Dakotas. But on my list, I've seen a lot of people go 11 GT Auto JLT, 11 GT Auto PMAS. I go, what year is it? Because for a long time, nobody was buying those cars. They were just sitting there. Now people are like, you know what? I'm going to get into this Coyote shit. Because this Coyote shit, after FL2K, a lot of people that were not aware of Coyote went Coyote. And unfortunately, someone like a Garrett, Cletus's channel, is an influence on a bunch of retards out there. And if he has a Coyote, like I guarantee there is a Cletard out there that saw him buy a Godzilla and he went, finally! Big inch Ford pushrod is the future! Stuffed it in his Fox body that weighs nothing, has a Marilat rear end, has all this crazy stuff, weighs nothing, runs a good number, and then after 5 head gaskets blow or whatever, that I don't know what the fuck, but I know that that car had issues putting good power down. It made good power for what it was, but for 7.3 liters in a forged situation, it should go a number. So then people are like, well, he switched it up to Coyote. Imagine the Cletard that bought a Godzilla, followed his build, and then homeboy dumps the whole motor and says, fuck all this, Coyote in this thing, which again, I don't know how he's gonna make it look. I have thoughts, but whatever. If he is successful with it, which I hope he is, because the Coyote is a good platform. It just needs to be under the right tutelage. You know what I am saying? I think there's a lot of people that felt betrayed. Oh, fun. So old is new. So people are going to go, you know what? If he bought a Coyote and put it in there and that car runs a number, let's say that car runs a 6, which it might have the ability to do so because it is a lightweight Fox twin turbo and it has all the money. The motor builder, I don't know. I mean, that motor builder, Dry Deck, was known to make fast Coyotes. Wet Deck, Brian Luna's car went 6.9 with a little bit of help. But, you know, you should have a pressure sensor in your coolant. You should have a pressure sensor in your coolant. Just in any wet deck Coyote, in my opinion. We'll talk about it. Old being new, throwaway EVs showing up at your door is going to be the new norm. We'll talk about it. Classic VW Beetle was in those categories, but ended up having a huge following. I currently own 3. You're gay. Rock a Cadillac Catalina. They made them in a standard Pontiac Fiero. Hey, I said he's up on the GTP shit cars, but Dodge has a Shadow as well. The problem with GTPs was the gearbox. Earnhardt Edition EV is going to be fire. Oh, no. Well, I could have made so many Earnhardt jokes, but I got to respect Dale. GTP was badass compared to the rest. Exactly. The GTPs were easy enough to mod to clap out 2 or 3 valve if you could keep the box in it. For Fairmonts, yeah. Look, the 80s had that car. The 80s had the 80s throwaway cars were the Granada. Oh, wait, what year was that? Granada Ford. Let's say 80. Was it 80 Ford Granada? Was there an 80 Ford Granada? Yes. Oh my God, Dodge. Oh my God, Dodge had these cars too. Yeah, so these cars were all over the place growing up. And then, you know, you had the Dodge Cop car. Which one was the Dodge Cop car? You had this. You had the Ford Crown Vic, the 80s Ford Crown Vic. 80s Ford Crown Vic. You know? Oh, my Lord. Bro, bring back all these fucking memories. Yeah, these were absolute shit. But Dodge had, you know, their own spec'd out police cars. Because when I go back and watch some of these old movies, I'm like, what kind of car is that? That kind of looks pretty cool with the little dish hubcap situation. And it's like a Dodge. Blown away by that. Cletus would destroy a rock, I believe it. Brother had a Renault Alliance Motor Trend car of the year 1983. Yeah, head gaskets, James busted down the piece of shit it was. Yep, I bet there's 100 4-cylinder Fox body clap. Boys in the hood, Elantra. What's up, brother? Hey, Capcom Racing. What's up, man? Good morning, Ashley Fox. Big money, I bet $50,000+. Why would Cletus look for another Coyote when his company Texas Speed builds them? Because those are throwaway Coyotes. Let's be honest. Texas Speed does not build high-end LSs. If you want to make 800 to maybe 900, I would think Texas Speed is fine. If you want to make big boy, look, the Grey Goose, based on some of the data that we are gathering now, based on the test session that we had the other day, it could have won 360 foot like chilling. So that right there makes me go, we're going to find at World Cup the absolute limits of the 6R80. And again, we're purposely handcuffing ourselves with this freaking 6R80. Like, I'm like up to here with it, but I'm hoping it runs a 699 so we can get it the fuck out of our lives and start fucking with Turbo 400 or not. They're like, fuck it. Let's say it runs a good number. They're just going to stick with it. I don't know why they would ever do that, but whatever. That's on them. But we're going to find the limits of the 6R80. Someone like a Texas Speed, understand, they aren't, and I don't think they market themselves as a badass engine builder. You remember back in the day, Fox Body days. Let's talk old guy stuff. DSS had these engines, and you knew that they were not that great. DSS 306, 400 horse. DSS 347, DSS 331, DSS 427. And you're like, okay, these are okay. And the price was like, a DSS stock, bottom end, stock block car with, the proper, valley girdle and all this stuff. It's not that expensive. And then, then you get it in your car and it lasts a season. And you're like, well, it lasted the season and I sprayed 200 through it, so I couldn't expect much. But at the end of the day, you probably should have just spent the money, gotten a, man of war fucking block built by some good engine builder, and you can get seasons, like multiple seasons out of it. Look, the reason I don't go all in on the Fairmont is because I know what it costs. And I'm not willing to invest that much in a car that would only be at a drag strip. I'd rather get in a 1,000 horse or 800 horse car I can drive everywhere all the time with AC, music, and live a happy life. But if I wanted to actually race the Fairmont, meaning I'd make 4 or 5 events a year, that's a $30,000 to $40,000 motor. That's a $20,000 to $25,000 chassis build. That's a $15,000 to $16,000 transmission setup. That's a Marilat or similar 9-inch rear end and brakes, shocks, axles, all that. It's going to be off pocket. A $90,000 car. Off pocket. Out of my pocket. You can't affirm that. So I don't do it. Because 1, it's not worth it to me. 2, I can't enjoy the way I want to enjoy it. 3, who am I doing that for? Like, this channel isn't begging me to go drag racing. Like, if I saw a lot of people going, Alex, we want you to go drag racing. We think you would represent. We want to see you get beat. We want to see you get gapped by everybody. Okay, there isn't that much support coming through to have me do it, so I'm not going to do it. But I think you guys would rather have me give you relatable content, because if this channel stems off and becomes just another channel that is doing stuff that nobody can relate with, then I don't stick out from anyone else. I'm just another asshole going 6s or 7s with your money. Cletus wants the Ford Big Block Ford by John Case. I don't know why. DSS is like Napa refurbished motors. I bought a DSS short block. Wrist pins went into the cylinder walls at around 3,000 miles. They would cover it. Horrible company. They wouldn't cover it. Horrible company. Right. DSS back in the day, in my opinion, is like Texas Speed. Now, TCAM is apparently building his block or has built his block, 2,000 horsepower. He said the same people that built the 73. Okay. I know too much, so I'll stay nice and quiet. Again, have coolant pressure sensors. Have it. Okay, so whatever your coolant pressure is, make sure it comes up on a data log. Eclipse Talon with the neon motor. DSS is done signal stupid. That's a car you buy for pennies on the dollar, mostly completed. Correct. So if you watch Don Jock? Is that Don Jock? Or John Doc? I said it backwards. John Doc's channel. He was recently complaining about a chassis build that went to absolute shit. And I can't do that. I literally would want to kill people if that's what happened. Let me see if it comes up here. Bad Apple is ready. Let me go. I'll go to John Doc's channel. Good guy. I think we were supposed to do some stuff, but we never did because, I mean, I don't know what the hell I could add to that whole situation. Yard sale. Parting out Glizzard. I'm back. Import killer. He puts out a lot of videos. So this car, he wasn't too keen on. He wasn't happy about this whole build. Let me see if he's talking about it. He's talking about there's one that he was like, bro, I got fucked on this deal. Like, it's got good brakes, it's got good this. Oh, this one. It's called I Give Up. And I'll show you. And again, don't copyright my shit, dude. What the fuck? I'm trying to actually, you know. But if you want to buy a car that is mostly done, but someone gave up on, well, something like this would be ideal. So he's talking about it. He picks it up, talks about how his trials and tribulations, how he's got thousands of dollars in this thing. And he just said, let me just pick this bitch up because it's just not going well.
But some stuff like the rear end, I am going to part out. The seats, obviously, they don't go anywhere because I love my Race Tech seats. I'm not getting rid of those. Those will go in.
So okay, maybe I'm wrong, but someone can maybe fill me in as to what happened with this particular build. But it's got an 8.8. Okay, it's nice to see it's got an 8.8 because it wasn't super high end. So it's got an 8.8, but he was talking about how he put a lot of money into it and he just like is giving up on it. He's showing well, so obviously that's not a good thing. Oh, okay.
I will tell you this, if you have a car, it's not worth it to go and get stuff cut out and put other stuff back in. It's just, you're better off just to sell it and start over because when you get to cutting stuff out and put other stuff back in, it does not work. So
okay, so that's good to know because I would hate to get with a shop that absolutely fucks me. And apparently he was pretty fucked on this deal from what I can tell. And he's just like, I'm done with it. So this is the position I never want to end up in. You understand? I'd rather buy something that someone maybe raced for a couple of years. But then the problem is it's not hush money. Like, it's not hush money. So, not that the channel cares, but I care. Hush money to me is special. That car to me signifies me sticking to my honesty. One of the hardest things you're going to find in this industry, if you get in it, are honest people. You're going to find everyone lies to you. You're going to find everyone tells you whatever the hell they need to tell you in order to make a sale. And me knowing that and recognizing that, I am black-pilled on this industry. Meaning, I'm going to think everything negative about you until you prove me different. There's a lot of optimistic people out there on this industry. And they're like, no, I want to be optimistic. And I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I don't. I give everyone the same starting point. You're a piece of shit. And unless you show me you're not a piece of shit, I'm going to assume you're a piece of shit based on my experience. And you know what, guys? That has been on the money. So when it comes to this industry, any automotive performance and racing industry, everyone's full of shit right off the rip. Everyone, every single company you can think of is full of shit. And until they do something to prove to you they're not full of shit, then you can start taking them out of that full of shit category, and then they can graduate to, I don't trust them. And then if they still keep doing great things, you go, they're okay. But they'll never graduate to like, I trust them fully with my money because I know the industry too well. There could be a shop that's honorable and awesome and great for years. And then one day just the guy gambles money away because he has a gambling addiction like a fucking homo. Who the fuck gambles? My God. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that situation with the Fairmont. I don't think I want to put all that money into it. I don't even know how I got on that shit. Oh, coyotes. And coyotes being the future, and people like Garrett potentially. Garrett's car can make or break the future of some coyote builds. People in the know who you go to for coyote shit, what you can and what you can't do. People that don't know will probably follow Cletus and say, I'm going to get my opinion about coyotes through Cletus. And that's a slippery slope because his track record is terrible. Terrible. So if I want to represent a company or make myself be put in the spotlight, I'm going to do it with a company or people that have a great track record. Not someone who's destructive. Sorry. Literally, I start everyone at 0 and not 100 like most people. You have to gain my trust in you. Had a chance to buy a 72 Torino for $6,500 a few years ago. Bought my 03 Freightliner instead. What does that have to do with anything? This is like the third time he's been, what's going on? Fucked by a chassis shop. Kind of odd if you ask me. A well-known YouTuber doesn't get screwed over by all the chassis shops around. I get it. Like, where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, why is John Doc constantly getting screwed by chassis shops? And why doesn't he have a relationship with a great chassis shop? Or maybe the chassis shop doesn't want anything to do. I don't know him. I don't know him out from a hole in the wall. But if I had a chassis shop that built me a badass car, why don't you just keep going to that chassis shop? Unless that chassis shop screws you over. And that's the other thing. I don't even want to get into the chassis shop bullshit. One of the biggest, the worst thing that could happen to me, the Fairmount, if I send it somewhere and they fuck me. Because I'll spend the rest of my life talking shit on that shop and making sure they fucking go under. And now that may be good for me and the show, but I don't want to use this show specifically as a weapon unless you've fucked me. And if you fuck me on money or at work or whatever, oh yeah, I'm gonna focus on you until the day I fucking die. I don't care. I know a SEMA car that was full of shit. Most SEMA cars are full of shit, dude. Facts. They want your money. That's it. They'll tell you that you want to hear you put. Wait. They will tell you what you want to hear, put you at ease, and gain your confidence. Exactly. His mechanic is a Ford guy, and I bet Garrett gets his knowledge from him. He's 0 and 50 on motors, says Mini by Batman. Somewhat on topic, you see Francis took it to Tyson yesterday. Yeah, look. The problem with heavyweight boxing is that it's not pure boxing. Pure boxing is 168 and under. Right? After that, it's power. And heavyweights are so slow. But Ngannou is a freak and very strong and very powerful. So he was just counterpunching his right over the top with a left to the face. And I'm like, okay. So when you want to watch boxing, you watch 168 and under. That is pure boxing. Anything above that, cruiserweight and up, it's just a power game. Some boxing, but a power game. What happened to the Hutch's welding back in the day? It seemed like he was going to do the Hutch money. I think so. Hutch does specialty. He's not a chassis shop like a drag racing chassis shop. You know what I mean? Like he does. He's more of an artist. Let's just say that. Hutch's welding is a great guy when it comes to structural stuff, but he does more aesthetics. He does drop kits. He likes slamming trucks and letting them drag and have sparks. He likes weird, big tire, low slammed, tucked tire, crazy looking hoops in the back. That's great. I want a chassis shop that scales the car, does all this shit, sets the car up for drag racing. And he's just not that shop. Get those likes up, 191 and 260 watching. A chassis in an NHRA, okay. A chassis is an NHRA certified item. Why not have the payment be contingent on that certification? Chassis shops and engine building shops are the only places that can't tell you when it'll be done or how much it'll cost. Yeah. So, that's a good one. I don't know why an engine builder, let's say you're going to build me a 2,000 horsepower capable Coyote engine. And you've done it multiple times and you've proven it. I can't understand why you can't give me a time frame and a cost up front if you've done it a lot. Now, I would be very leery if I needed a 2,000 horsepower Coyote motor and one just showed up. Oh, it just showed up? Did the customer not want it? Was it too expensive? Now, if price is no object, that makes things a lot easier. But if it's available, because guys, Coyote motors that can last a season or two are highly sought after. And I could, there's less than 3 people that I would trust with a Coyote build, and less than 2 that I would trust with a 2,000 horsepower Coyote build. Any shop that is my way or their way battle It's too much to risk for a shop to do it my way, regardless of the money talked or not. 3R Welding and Fabrication says SRC was screwed by a chassis. Who's SRC? Street Racing Channel. Is that guy Billy the Kid, right? With the S10, and he's got a Fox body, and they got a podcast too. I can't listen to that podcast because they're just talking, street cars, street racing stuff, and I just check out because it's not interesting to me. But they have a huge following, so shout out to them. SRC was screwed by a chassis shop and also seemed to happen quite often. Usually, if they're good, they're busy, and eventually they take in more that they can get out in a decent time frame. Interesting. Desert 1320 says, trusting a chassis shop is the riskiest thing you can do when building a car. So, I'd have to have like a personal relationship with that person. And I don't have a personal relationship with any chassis builder. Keith Ray has Morning Glory Motorsports. And based on what they did to Owlette and White Bitch, I think that's what he calls his car. White Bitch. Like out of all names, White Bitch. They seem to do good work. But I don't know them like that. Keith Ray built me a seemingly good... I haven't dynoed it yet, so we'll see. I haven't gone wide open to 7,500, so we'll see. But seemingly, motor seems to be doing pretty good on the GT500. So I there is a level of trust there. And he trusts Morning Glory Motorsports to do work on his car. But I need... And again, this is the other thing. They probably think I'm just some bitch that doesn't know shit about cars. See, a lot of people that meet me, they think I'm just some shit-talking YouTuber that doesn't know shit about cars. You've never gone fast, so you don't know shit about car. Then I talked to Alec Bledsoe, who has tuned cars that have gone low 4s, high 3s in the 8th, chassis stuff. And when we talk, we're on the same page. We are on the same page. So someone like that listens to me and goes, he ain't stupid. He knows. He just knows that to get involved in this game is a slippery slope, and who the hell are you going to trust to do it anyway? So when we talk, there's a bit of a familiarity in terms of what we've seen, and he's a young cat. He's 28, and I'm blown away that at 28, he has found shit out. It took me up until my late 30s to find out because he's in it more often, and he thinks in a similar mindset. I saw TKM did Cletus to Coyote. How's TKM with Coyotes? Yeah. Who would you trust to build the Coyote, Turvey or MMR? Wasn't Hutch charging you more money just because your channel took off? It was more expensive than I thought it needed to be. Let's just say that. I went, what did I? Okay, whatever. It was a little pricey. Let's be honest. I thought the price for the work doesn't make sense, but his price is his price, and what do? You either pay it or you don't. I paid it, and then I took my business elsewhere. Not because I dislike him, because I think it was a little expensive for what it was. I think it was the guy who made the lamps and decor from old motor parts. Look at Nivlak 57. He builds his own chassis. And look, I mean, my Fairmont, if I was to send it out, would be what I would consider, because I'm a layman, straightforward. Front tubular, back half it. But what happens? A chassis builder is going to get it and go, why don't we just do the whole thing? I'm doing the front. I'm doing the rear. Why don't we just do the middle? And I'm like, well, because what's going to happen is this. You're going to want to take the body off of this motherfucker, build me a tube chassis, and then just slam the body back on it. And I don't think I want that. I don't think I want a tubular fucking situation, So these guys are like artists. These kind of prima donna chassis builders are like, well, I hold the keys to making your chassis work, so I'm going to want to do it the way I want to do it. And I'm going to go, no, fuck you. I want what I want, and if you're not willing to give me what I want, that's cool. Just like tuning. I'm like, I know what's best for your car. Maybe the chassis builder knows what's best for my car, but I don't want a tubular fucking chassis Fox. I don't want that. I just want front half. I want the car to be light. That's it. How the hell do grudge racers go up there with Home Depot PVC piping? PCV. PCV. No, PVC. PVC piping as a roll cage and run a 4.0 in the 8th with, a jockey, Pookie, in the fucking the driver's seat. They get it done. Oh, but it's dangerous. I'm sorry. They get it done. Alex Underwood said, okay, Jeff Lutz was doing chassis work, painting caulk behind beads and telling people they were weld. Okay, I don't know that, so I'm just saying what you're saying. Also, some high-profile YouTuber may get a different engine than the one you do quality-wise. That didn't make sense. That would not make sense. If I'm paying $30,000 for a Coyote motor, it better be as good or if not better than what the YouTuber gets. Dropped in after watching 69 by 650 comparison VOD. Know what I'm talking about. Buenos dias, a little late. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Alex never going to go fast. Joke's on them. They clearly don't know about Gene Gray or Hush Money. Obviously, they've never checked out the channel. Proof is in the channel. Matt Oliver, I had a guy the other day arguing 4R200 stuff. One of our customers was like, hey, I'm looking for a 4R200 hub. And I go, well, the 4 in 4R200 is basically overdrive. It's the same hub, but I would limit your calibration to three gear changes. So someone in there's like, oh, don't get the hub. It's only good for 2,000 horsepower cars. I'm like, Hush Money went 850. And he says, 850 is not fast. And I'm looking through his channel or his video, or his page. I can't find any car running any number under him. I'm like, I'm looking through your whole shit. And there isn't a run that you ran in your vehicle quicker than mine. And the 4R200 has been proven on 800, 900 horsepower cars. Problem is, people go, well, I put the hub in it and it went slower. Right, you kept the 315s in it, put 373s in it, bada bing, bada boom. It's a turbo 400 gear ratio, and the thing will last forever, and you're not going to have an issue with the Ford Planet because you remove it. So, at the end of the day, they said I've never gone fast because I haven't gone 6.99. That's what they say. I know what it takes to run 6.99. It means being a lonely, broke asshole with one car. That's right, one 6.9 second car that I can only run at the quarter mile. I want nothing to do with that life. You can hire Admiral Pecker for the job. Good morning, Alex. I finally found a nice S197, and guess what? Third gear broke same day, says Slippy Boy Films. Cockwell, Jesus, hello. PVC, LeBaron, convertible. Hey, hit live on your shit. Ryan Doyle, hit live. Howdy, y'all. I'll watch replay. Happy Sunday. God bless. It's beautiful out. And I hear that World Cup is going to be freezing. So let me go to Fucksville, Maryland. Maryland weather. Wow, I misspelled it so bad. So Maryland in the next couple of days is going to have a high on Monday of 79, then 51, 52, 54, 62, 68. So we're testing on Wednesday, 52 for a high, 33 for a low. Thursday, 54 for a high, 35 for a low. 62, 40, 68, 45, 8. So it's going to be ridiculously wonderful. Low DA. Expect many, many cars to blow up. So I'm hoping this happens. I'm hoping Grey Goose goes 6s in testing. Goal achieved. And then the next goal is to qualify. Goal achieved. And then try, if we qualify and the transmission is still in it and the motor's still happy, if we can win 1 or 2 rounds, ecstatic. But my goal is to have Grey Goose run 6 during testing. That guy runs 211 in the quarter, but he usually wakes up and starts typing. What's up with LMP? What's up with LMP? When does World Cup start? World Cup starts Wednesday testing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive up to Lund Racing right after the show. We're going to take off tomorrow morning, get up there, maybe 3/4 of the way, stay overnight somewhere, make it to World Cup Tuesday. People start lining up. Get a good spot, get settled, get everything good, and then Wednesday is a test session. So everyone's going to be up there. Junior, me, Dakota, senior. We're going to do testing, maybe 2 or 3 hits tops. Hopefully the transmission stays in it. If not, we got to change the transmission. We're taking up 2 transmissions. And then qualifying starts, I believe, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then we get into the eliminations. Hey, I had a 98 Metro Geo 3-cylinder 5-speed. Drove it 363,000 miles. Wasn't my only car, but it was what I drove 140 miles a day for work. Spent more on gas than tires. Gearing, still a black art to the layman. Right, Joe Swish. People would go, oh, so if I put in this hub, if I put in a 4R200 hub, the car is magically going to gain time. No. My Fairmont has 373s. My S550 had 315s. I would cross the traps at 6,800 RPMs in third gear with the red car. I would go through the traps at 7,200 RPMs with the Fairmont. Fairmont went 8.5, 157. Red car went 9.1, 153. I mean, scary as hell, though. One car U-Haul trailer. Does Ben Calamer sell kits to rebuild myself? No, sir. Slippy boy, you buy a transmission from him. He does not sell parts. Because what happens when he sells parts? People copy them. And it happened with forks. Someone bought a transmission, took it apart, saw that it had billet internals and saw what he did, and they started copying those parts and put them up for sale to undercut his stuff. Talk about a scumbag shithead move. Happens all the time. It happened with Power by the Hour too. Power by the Hour, back in the day when they were making Coyote swap parts, people were buying it and just literally making the exact same part and selling it with Power by the Hour's instructions. Like Power by the Hour, like I'm blown away that people still don't go to Power by the Hour when they want a Coyote swap. I go on Facebook, unfortunately, once in a while, mostly to get in the group chat with the guys at Lund Racing. And every single time I go in there, I'm blown away that somebody goes, well, I'm going to put a Coyote in something. Who's the go-to? And people are like, oh, Mars or this. And I'm like, bro, fucking Power by the Hour. Nobody else. Like, nobody else. Stop. I hope Granis beats Tick Performance this time. Is there some kind of beef I don't know about? Because I know Joe Steele was really going in on Granis back in the day. And now that we've seen that Joe Steele has been quietly building what seems to be a stupid, crazy-looking build. I don't... When he says, I'm looking to go fives, call me crazy. I don't doubt the dude. Because it's going to be dry deck. It's going to be methanol. It's going to be big single turbo, Billy Badass, T56, all this stuff. So when Joe Steele's like, I'm looking to go fives. Fuck all that. I'm fixing to go five in that thing. You know, I'm looking to go five. He's very, So I don't doubt that's his goal, whether he achieves it or not. But he's the type of guy that he'll fucking put all the money and effort. And he seems to have a wonderful Okay. In our interview, and that's great. Sorry, I'm jumping around. In our interview, if you go back to the Joe Steele interview, that's a great interview to go and rewatch. He talks about how many times he had to build that car, which is now Brett LaSala's car. And I guarantee Brett LaSala paid a third for what Joe Steele has into that chassis to get it. Joe Steele says he has $300,000 or had $300,000 into that car. And I don't think Brett bought that roller for anything over 100. And you see how vetted it is. You see how it just goes down the track. But that means Joe Steele had to go through people that fucked him over, but he now seems to have a good relationship with people. Now, again, I guarantee these people don't want to fuck with someone like me because they think I'm just a shit-talking YouTuber. But whatever. Like, I just want a front tubular, mini tub, and a decent cage, and that's it. Leave me alone. Which class was Grey Goose going to be in? Street Fighter. Alex going to do the travel log. Do you guys want that? Do you guys want me to video like a vlog style travel talking to Senior? Because I'm going to be driving with Senior for 15 hours or whatever it is. So it'll be me and him in a car, in a truck. I'll show you Grey Goose. I'll show you what we're doing. I'll show you what's different. I'll have him. That'll be the first video, obviously. Hey, we're here with Grey Goose when I head to World Cup, and we're here with Senior. And a lot of changes on this car. Let's talk about it. So that'll be like a 20-minute video. Easy. But then do you guys want like updates, or do you don't give a shit and let's just get to the track and fuck around? Alec mentioned the live in his trailer. That'd be dope. I don't even know how that would work. Whose channel? I'm not doing any lives. I am not doing any lives while I'm at World Cup. I am working. So if at night we go to the hotel and sleep there, then come back. Like there's no chilling at the track. You know, like I'm not going to do any lives. I'm probably going to try to drop 5 videos that week to supplement because I'm going to be losing out on a lot of viewing minutes. What's up, man? Just waking up, says Rocky Top VFL. Waking up to join the best show on YouTube. Thank you. Fuck, I appreciate it. That's so nice of you. Why would you say that? That compound turbo setup on the Super is crazy. Track only stuff is impressive, but streetable stuff is what I relate to. Me too. There's no beef between Grandis and Atkins. They just go at each other. And that's good to hear. I heard that Tick talk some shit on, not shit talking like beef, but you know, friendly rubbing about the Corvette, because I guess Garrett put up a post somewhere that said, which one do you think is heavier? And it's his Corvette versus some other dude's white Corvette. And he goes, hint, it's not the one with the body. And then Tick Performance was like, I don't know, both of these are slow or something. I thought, whatever. 100% documented trip. Got it. Yeah, I'd watch that for sure. Gotcha. Lazy Drew P. Huevos. That's probably Droopy. Okay, Droopy Huevos. Good. That's very good. Droopy Huevos says, Lazy Ken got his ass kicked against the Plaid multiple times. Plaid versus GT500. I'm getting a Plaid. Yeah, come on, stop it. Why are you saying Lazy Ken? The Plaid was impressive as hell. Yes, senior travel log. Can you Bumble swipe on World Cup? Could you imagine? Yeah, that would be great. Good morning, good morning. Okay, so I'll get you content I'll try to drop a video every day. I'm bringing this laptop. I'm bringing this. I'm bringing everything. I'm bringing like my life with me because we're going to be gone a week. Oh, yeah, then we got to go to fucking Modnets. I'm only going to be there on the weekend. I'm not going to be there for 4 days. Some content with Senior would be killer. Always impressed and respect that guy. As much as Senior as possible. Yeah, document it. It'll be even sweeter if you guys hit that goal. Okay, cool. Yeah, some knowledge dropping. Yeah, like I'll talk to Junior. I'm going to talk to Junior for about 10 minutes. Give him an impromptu interview. I'm going to bring this guy. This is a nice little thing I got for the camera where you can control it here. You can control it. You can just kind of zoom in or whatever. And it's also a little tripod situation. But this is basically what I would walk around with the camera on top. So I'll be this guy. Like an idiot most of the time. I want to talk to Junior. Get a video with Junior. Get a video with Senior. Maybe talk to Alec Bledsoe and introduce myself to the crew over there. Get a video with them. But I'm going to try to do my best to be present for the car. I can't go there and use it as a vlog making venture. It has to be like side stuff if I do vlog stuff. Thank you. 11-second clips. How much power is 01 making? So, based on the math, I'm thinking about 710 wheel right now. 710 wheel with Sunoco T60 GT, stock head, stock cam, ported blower, boost, throttle body, cold air, and headers. I don't think it's making crazy power. Next shift, Wheelies Vet. Gotcha. Are you and Lund Racing going to be at any merchandise? No. Okay, I don't think we're even allowed to do that. You understand? I think we're there to race. The vendor midway is the vendor midway, but that's not to say that Senior didn't stuff a bunch of hoodies and shirts in there and tried to make some money. But I don't even know how to process that kind of payment. We're there to race. Maybe Senior would give us a rundown of all the work. Oh, absolutely. Guys, the fuel pump alone is going to impress you. Understand this, guys. The fuel pump on the Grey Goose alone is going to impress you. Slash Raptor says, what's up? Been lurking, and yeah, I'll watch a vlog style video. Got it. I say record the conversation on the channel has enough content where you can splice it into comments and the related to the video. Okay, so you're saying don't do a daily vlog, take video every day and then splice it into one big video? I'd probably do a daily vlog just to get more out of it. That white vet was sick. Same black C6 with the highlight flag. What about Tony? Tony is going to stay here. He's sick. So he's a little sick right now. I got a neighbor in the complex that's really good about, he knows Tony. So I was going to have Cheryl watch him, but I don't want to have her watch Tony while he's sick. You know, he has like stupid, he likes to literally lick and eat like poop. So he gets sick. So I got to get him on a rice regimen, start blending in the foods. So I got someone in the complex, so he's going to stay here. Next hit is white Corvette. Definitely would enjoy that type of content. Jay Bush, we just want a fancy photos of your dinners and calves. Alex is Ken Phillips. Christian Salmon says, who's finna feed Tony Flores while you're gone? I got somebody for him. Tony going to be either at dog care or with Jake. No, actually, Jake might be up at World Cup. Jake wants to be there in the event that the car runs a 6 and see, like, celebrate with the crew. And he's an expert 6-star. He built the transmission, or at least was part of building the transmission in theory. So he'll be there to wrench and do whatever. So we're going to have like me, Dakota, Junior, Senior, Jake potentially, and then maybe the motor builder is going to be there also to support. I want to see the sticker that's going to go on Alex's car. It'll be cool to see live. 75 gallons per minute fuel pump. Oh, guys, you have no idea what this fuel pump looks like. It'll be stupid. Splicing after is a lot of work, too. Yeah, I think it's better to go, okay, Monday, travel, here's the car. Tuesday, get to the event, get set up, talk some more, goals, look at the track, 10, 15 minutes top. Wednesday, testing. See what we do testing, talk to Junior, talk to Senior, depending on the outcome of that day. Thursday, qualifying. Get some video on that, get some content on. Yeah, so I think I have a game plan going forward. Who's going to be the weirdo and follow Alex around all day? Oh, my God, bro. I'm literally thinking of bringing the wig and, like, big glasses and, like, I want to be, like, not that I'm avoiding people, but I'm avoiding weirdos. Like, I don't want people to go, hey, and then I'm there to work. So understand, if you see me at World Cup, chit chat, cool. I don't care about the Fox body that you had growing up. I don't care that you used to own this. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. If you want to ask me some questions, cool. Well, if I'm not busy, but a lot of people like tell me their whole life story when I meet them, and I definitely want to avoid that. So I might just like go incognito and just put on glasses and do weird shit. Why does Len seem to ignore questions when data logging, even when they're the educated one? Because it's none of your business. No offense. This is what happens, Jake. You're gonna say, why is AFR going lean on diesel? So now I have to write down a paragraph of how injectors shut off when you let off the gas. And then you're going to say something that makes no sense, and we have to explain to you why it makes no sense. And that is not my job. My job is to tune your car. And if I look at the data log and the data log looks good, I say looks good, you're all set. You can either trust your tuner or tune it yourself. Trust the tuner, or just like you don't go to Ruth Chris and start asking specifics about how the steak was marinated. What process did you use to marinate it? Can you tell me why it tastes this way? What kind of pepper did you use what kind of seasoning? Like, I need to know. And no. Do you trust the tuner? Yes. Is the car running good? Yes. Right out. Oh, I know how to data log. Okay, cool. Do you have the tune in front of you? No. Okay, so you have half the story. Yes. You want to ask me questions about the tune? Yes. No. Trust us, or you can go away. It's just that simple. Damn, snow hit us here, and Mustang is parked, and the sled is prepped for more snow. Tony isn't letting you sell that shit. I'll follow Alex around. I think he's a friend, says Zach. Alex is going to go incognito like that late night Google search, Shelby Dave, is working. Somebody's going to go after that hat, Alex. Someone's going to flip their hat, Alex. Just play that clip of Canelo when someone tries to talk to you. Christian Sama says, how many honey buns, white monsters, will be consumed on the way? So, no, that's the thing. Look, I'm at a place, gym-wise, I'm doing really good. I'm really, really progressing nicely. So I'm bringing a whole case of, food, and like I'm going to be really good about my diet. And if the hotel has a gym, I am not losing progress. Fuck all that. Like, the worst thing you could do as a gym goer, like if you're like a hardcore gym goer, and I'm not a hardcore gym goer, but progress is really nice. When you're starting to squat 4 plates easy, starting to bench 3 plates easy, you don't want to revert back to 2 plates and a quarter and work your way back up to 3 and 3 and a quarter. So you're trying to maintain that strength, and traveling for a week will kill your gym progress. Avoid weirdos by looking at a weirdo. I love the steakhouse analogy. Look, and a lot of people probably get mad at me because they probably they probably know some stuff. Alex, I'm not stupid, okay? I look at air fuel, I look at the short trims, no big deal. But this is the problem, right? Okay, do I have a data log? Let me pull up a data log with you guys. Okay, let's do that, if you don't mind. Live. Let's do a quick data log review. Yes. So I got to find a data log. So let's do that together, okay? And I'm going to give you an example why typically I don't do data log. I don't explain too much stuff on data logs, okay? So live link. So we're going to pull up live link Gen 2. We're going to open data log, and it's going to be, I think, in the downloads folder. Yes. Okay. So this is a Whipple car that went 880 with a turbo 400. Yeah, this is wonderful. This is a wonderful log, okay? So, display capture, and let's look at it together, okay? So, the first thing I highlight is RPM. And then throttle. So, throttle is ETC actual. So, if you don't know that, you're going to be like, where's throttle, Alex? So, throttle, ETC actual. Throttle is wide open when it is 85 degrees. You see right there, it says 85. I don't know if you got to zoom in, but right here, it says 85. So, what's the first question we get when I show you guys a data log? Throttle is only going 85%. Why isn't it 100? Pendejo, it's degrees. You want the throttle to do a 180 flip and be 100% and shut again? That's 100. So 85 degrees. Okay, cool. Air load. So air load is a calculation of what the mass airflow sensor sees for air mass and injector data and other factors. So people will say, I don't get it, Alex. Air load is 2.84 at 5,700 RPMs. And it drops. Why does it drop? Well, it's not fueling because short-term fuel trims are 2%. Like, this is a wonderful looking log. So, this car's a nitrous car. So, he put a 100 shot turbo 400. So, if you were to visualize this, how do you visualize this? So, let's go max. That's the burnout. Boom. Pulls up to the line. He puts it at 6. So his pedal percentage, boom, he's good with his foot. This gentleman is so good with his foot. 24% pedal, throttle is at 6 degrees. Then he brings it up on 8 degrees, which is about 37% pedal. He is stalling the converter at 2100 RPMs. Then he lets go. And the converter chugs. Boom! And then it comes here to 8,000 RPMs. And he commands a shift. And he rides out the back at 7,700 RPMs and decels nicely. So, everything here looks good. Nitrous log looks good. What are people going to start looking at, right? They're going to start looking at weird shit. Like, Alex, is that 2%? Is AFR... Could AFR be, why is it weird right here? And why is it weird right here? And, I don't need that. I don't need you asking. Look at the average. AFR's chilling. Everything's chilling. MAF hurts, meaning belt is not slipping. Look, it's constantly rising. Shifts and constantly rising. The belt is not slipping. So people would look at load and go, the belt's slipping. No, it's not. It's the air you're moving. But the MAF frequency is basically the velocity of the air, and MAF frequency goes up, down, up. So the problem is, unless you're 100% well-versed in reading a data log and you understand what the tune is trying to do, a data log is going to look foreign to you. So it takes me just so long to explain that. By the way, this is our base file. I had done nothing to that car between the time he got a base file and the time he went 8s. I did nothing. I said, E85, here's your timing, here's your this. Raise your rev limiter a little bit, raise it again, go racing. I didn't do shit to that file. Oh, Alex, I'm only on the base file. Bro, that is one of the most clean logs of an 8-second turbo 400, 100 shot Whipple Coyote pass you'll ever see. On the base file. So people would think, don't you think I need some more revisions? Why? Your car just went 880. Well, it could go 860. Not according to that data log. So he goes, what do you think? Another 50 shot on top of that? I go, yes. He gets it. He goes, Alex, what do you think? You got enough room for 50 shot? Fuck yeah. Throw 150 on top of that bitch. You understand what could happen though, right? He goes, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I understand what could happen. I'm like, there you go. Alex, call me. I'll get you right. Says Drew P. Huevos. I own a TRT clinic and hormone optimization. Time to squat 5 plates and bench 4 plates. See, the problem is, once you're on that stuff, Drew, it's forever. Cycling in and out, I've seen too much, and it's forever. I'll do that when I'm like 50. Labor rate, $75 an hour. You watch, $95 an hour. You ask questions, $125. You worked on it before, $200. Will Lund have engages to sell at World Cup? Hell no. That's more than Spark and Fuel. No, Monty 540. According to people on the internet, Lund Racing and stock computers only monitor Spark and Fuel. Now tell me what all this is. Tell me what all that is. Oh, it's Spark and Fuel. Oh, Spark and Fuel. Got it. Understood. Yeah, got it. Spark and Fuel. When people say Spark and Fuel, I laugh my ass off because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And those are people that typically run standalones. And again, nothing against standalones, but let's be honest. The standalone is doing much of the tuning. How long is the drive up there going to be? About 12 to 13 hours. Or 14, depending. Coyote Kelly, you Estadio High School, bro. Okay. Alexander Wood, I want my throttle blade to do a 360. Right. People go, so throttle blade, let's say it's in the housing and it's shut. So 1.0 throttle angle is this. Right? 90 degrees is this. 90. Perfectly across. 0, 90 degree throttle angle. So the throttle is like that. It's 85 degrees. Not like this. Because what happens if it goes, and it has a stop, right? It can't go all the way around. So it has a stop. So you want to avoid it from hitting the stop. So you go at 85 degrees. If you go all the way to the stop, then the motor loses control and it starts to throw a code like a P2119 or P2112. Because the motor has to be able to regulate the throttle blade based on air load, based on certain factors in the tune. But if you're at watt, 85 degrees, cool. Now, let's say you have a weak motor and the air rushing across the blade is acting like a sail and the motor is now fighting to keep 85 degrees, right? It's trying to keep 85 degrees, but the air going across it is, and the motor can't handle it anymore. Boom, fail safes, shuts, P2112. Oh, my throttle shut. That's an issue with the tune. No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh, my other tuner. Okay, and then they say it doesn't do it at 18 pounds of boost, but it does it at 22 pounds of boost. Another thing is the throttle body is up against the blower. The blower is whipping at 22,000 RPMs or so. What do you think that's doing to the harmonics of the motor? Guys, there's a lot to go into it that you don't see on the log. For example, if you look at the throttle on that log, boy, this is actually really good. So let's look at the throttle angle on that log again. Let's deselect all items. Let's only look at throttle angle. Everything else gets shut off. You see this little wave right here? That little, I mean, it doesn't seem like much, but see these little dips? Dip, 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 wavy dips, right? You see what I'm talking about? So when you look at throttle angle right here, take a look at this. I'm going to put it right on there. 85.8. So it drops, and then 85.13, and then 84.91, then 85.13, 84.82, 84.97. So what am I seeing? What I'm seeing is with RPM, and depending on how And probably air load. Air load is probably high there. Yeah, so it's having a hard time regulating with RPM. And it did most of the dip on a shift. You see right here on a shift, and the throttle dips up here. I'm going to go, bro, this throttle is really struggling to say at 85 degrees. So what I tell the customer is this, eventually if you raise boost or something, it's probably going to have a hard time staying at that angle, at that commanded angle. And they go, oh, okay, this is now a time to remedy the throttle not in the tune. So the customer must know that because the throttle is attached to the blower that is whipping blades at 22,000 RPMs or something, let's move the throttle downstream. That's right. Remotely mount the throttle. So you can have a spacer, a phenolic high heat spacer that moves the throttle away from the blower. And then that is a cushion, a shock absorber, a fuse, so to speak, to keep the harmonics away from the throttle body. And I guarantee if he does that, that line will stay flat all the way across. And I said, you have remedied the issue mechanically. See, those people I love. And I've already told this gentleman this. I said, look, this throttle is doing a little wavy stuff. My GT500 does wavy stuff with the throttle. I don't think my Whipple supercharger and the Candy Bell throttle body will keep the throttle open stick shift. I think I'm going to have issues with the throttle closing all the way down the track. So that's why we're probably going to lower boost, and we're hopefully going to keep the throttle open on the shifts because of the air load and the air coming across the blade trying to close it open will weaken the motor and potentially cause a false kind of throttle shutting situation. So sorry to get too technical into it, but this is why the longest answer on the planet, we don't tell you shit about the data log. That's why we don't tell you shit about the data log. This has been 8 or so years of experience. The reason I bought a Gen 2 is to experience this. The reason I bought a Gen 2 and had a Candy Bell throttle body, then I went to a Whipple 132, then I went to a Twin 65, then I remote mounted the Whipple 132 on the Fairmont with a E-Force supercharger. I've done it all, so when the data shows up, I can reference my experience. Listening to you and prepping 2 cc's of tests as you speak. Gonna be a good day. Hey, get that trend in there too. And some D-ball. Lots of sparks and lots of fuels. Ignorance is bliss. Must be hard to be in Alex's shoes. Listening to stupidity on tuning in the tuning community. Oscar AA, I'm gonna be honest with you, most people that are really fast don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Critical thinking exercise. What is the throttle body blade laying flat at 90 degrees? So it makes perfect sense that throttle in the data log is measured in degrees, says Matt Oliver. Nah, bro, start now. Game changer below, slow and steady. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm going to be as natural as possible until I can't. And then, fuck it. We're going Ronnie Coleman on that shit. I want my throttle body spinning in there as acting like a supercharger. This is the reason why I watch you, Alex. Nobody does content like this. The reason people don't do content like this is because you have 2 ways of giving data to the people. Super nerdy, boring engineering talk, or so basic that you barely understand it. And I kind of give you something in the middle. Weak motor, carbon covered, etc. Exactly. If I cube the throttle body at the end, 10 minutes of talking about a data log. Could you imagine trying to explain it on an email? Street scene? Exactly. It would have been a book. And I can't have those conversations. Now, let's say I'm at the track and you really want to know something. And I'm chilling with a C4 or just chilling with the guys. And you're like, hey, Alex, I'm sorry to bother you, but man, I got some questions about tuning. You got me. Let's go. Let's talk. Absolutely. But if I'm running to the staging lanes with if I'm in a scooter, electric scooter with a stage, and I have a what do you call it? An air, the thing to check air pressure and a little pump, and I got my bag on me, and I got the data log, and I got this, and I got that, and then you're like, hey, Alex, I gotta talk to you. You are a fucking psycho. I'm working. Had a throttle body go limp mode for a mile every few weeks. Added a half-inch aluminum spacer with a gasket because I didn't have phenolic spacer. Cured the bitch. Would a throttle body spacer help? Yes, Milton Perez. Man, cable controlled throttle bodies for the win. I agree 100%. Great explanation of why you don't ask your tuner in-depth data log questions. Right. I needed to do that so people understood where I was coming from. I needed to explain everything I saw in that data log to give you a clue, because you're staring down air fuel. You know how many people look at a data log and they say, I know data logging, and then they stare down air fuel. Oh, right there. Or they look at it in Excel. You want to look at it in Excel? Let's do that. Let's do some real dumb shit. Let's fuck it. I'm going in. I don't give a fuck today. Downloads.csv.csv. Boom. Let's look at that data log in Excel. Okay? And this is what I hear customers do. These fucking geniuses. No offense. Okay. So this is that data log in Excel, meaning the way it spits it out in raw format. Okay. So RPM 85.4. Okay, 850. So this is how you got to look at it. So let's say a long-term fuel trim. Let's look at air fuel. Okay, AFR. See right here, AFR 1.2. Boom, boom. So this is how you got to look at it. And this is what they do. They go like this. Let's look at a high point of RPM and a weird fluctuation at air fuel. Okay, so Alex, line 164, air fuel goes 0.76 and it's fine. You see that? So 8,000 RPM, but then at 84.36, it goes 7.0. It's rich. I go, what? Yeah, look, it's rich right here. 85, 70, 76, 70, 77, 83. This tune is full. Look, and then it goes super lean here. It's super lean. And then I go, asshole, are you looking at the burnout? They go, what? I go, are you looking at the burnout? Because this is the burnout. You see the burnout? Look at AFR, right? Let's look at RPM. Boom, boom. Actually, let's deselect everything. Let's look at AFR and RPM only. And look at AFR. 7.0, 7.0, and 1 point. But you look at it on Excel, and you think the world is gonna end, right? You think you're a fucking Excel viewer, and I'm a, live link viewer. That's the difference, and that's what I get asked about on logs all the time. Line 163, column F, right there, it shows that it's 1 point, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, boy, get the fuck out of here. Can't wait, Talking Shit Tuesday. Alex, juice to the gills. Yeah, buddy, lightweight. I want to take that intake manifold and 7 throttle bodies. If one acts up, I got backups. Alex has so much knowledge. Not only does he see it tuning every day, but he's experienced with his own cars. That's what people don't get. I have experience. I have the GT500, so I have ARL5 4-valve experience. I have Gen 3 experience. I've owned 2 Gen 3 cars. I have Gen 2 experience. And now I have Fox Body and LS9 experience. Do you see tuning devices eventually auto-tuning? No. You want to know what blows me away about tuning? Programmers are fucking lazy, bro. If programmers had the same work ethic that blue-collar workers do, we would have had 16 replacements for this. This would have been replaced 10 times over. If programmers in the tuning community would work how SpaceX works, where they replace the whole concrete pad and have a ship ready to go after destroying the pad in less than 6 months. Guys, this has been gone since 2019. It is 2023. No viable replacement. And why is that? Pure, unadulterated laziness. That's all it is. We're not programmers. We're tuners. Lazy motherfuckers. Every programmer I come across I am so black-pilled. I go, so you're a lazy motherfucker. How lazy are you? They could be millionaires if they want, but they're too fucking lazy. So, if you think tuning is going to take a quantum leap into some self-tuning shit, it's not going to happen because programmers are so lazy. Because they think they're God, right? Oh, I know how to program. I'm God. I'm going to tell you what to do. Okay, so I need this. Here's the motherboard. Here's all the hardware. Write all the firmware and write some updates and go. Let's go. I will give you thousands of dollars. Nope, they'll play Baldur's Gate 3 and fuck off for hours. I swear I thought you were about to say you have 3-valve experience. Actually, I owned a 3-valve. That's why I got rid of it. Can confirm I work with a bunch of programmers. I'm stock motor, says DJ, but I like the ESS G3R kit. No G3R kit. G3X. G3R is not how you think it is. G3R is for big power motherfuckers. You have a stock motor, the G3X can make 900 plus horsepower. Way surpassing what the G3, what your motor can hold stock. But the thought process is the same as the 2650 assholes. Oh, well, Alex, I want to get a 2650 because it makes 650 horsepower more efficiently with the rotors spinning slower. So you have no fucking torque. So your G3X at peak can make, with 120 millimeter pulley and E85, 750 horsepower, 580 or 600 pound-feet of torque at 5,800 RPM. But the G3R makes the same horsepower, but your torque is way low. Which one would you pick? Alex, I'm having some clearance issues with my Holly Haram and PMS. I already nosed the fan shot to tick, but it makes 175-inch manifold space or anything to gain with more manifold space. Not anything to gain. I don't think you lose anything either. The Holly Hiram to me is not that great. I'm a CJ guy. The Hiram to me didn't show that much of a gain that makes me want to get it, but try to make it fit. We'll tune it. I just can't guarantee badass results. Why did the N gauge go away in the first place? The guy who makes the N gauge was tied in with some diesel bullshit. EPA said, shut it the fuck down or go to jail. Just like that. So you're not a fan for the HPD Plus? What the fuck's the HPD Plus? Easy on the big BG3. It's a pretty cool nerd derp. The fact that you name drop Baldur's Gate 3, of course, because it's fucking nerd shit. Why would I make a new N gauge only to be shut down by the EPA? Well, not just that. It's programming. Okay, what year is it? 2023. This thing's been around for a while. Still can't do a crank relearn. Still can't do a crank relearn. Imagine I have to tell a customer, oh, you got a PO315? Yep. You're going to have to go to Ford and get an IDS tool or an SCT X4 to perform a crank relearn. Who looks like the clown? Me. I do. Not them. They don't look like the clown. I have to tell them, well, sir, you're going to have to go find yourself a Ford IDS tool and do a crank relearn with the proper vehicle ID, or an SCT X4 can do it, no problem. And the customer goes, what? I go, yeah. I'm the asshole. So, programmers are fucking lazy, dude. They're lazy. We need those guys in India to develop a new N gauge. Stay away from EPA, gold chains on the dude. You make a good point. I'm just going to go by what they advertise. No. Advertising is absolute horse shit. Real world results. DJ, how much power do you want to make? What is out there on the market that already does that? Alex, I'm going to stay on pump gas and I want to make 650. What do you suggest? I'm like, the Gen 2R. But Alex, the Gen 2R is old. Right. But it makes 700. You can make up to 850 horsepower, no problem. And that thing hits so hard, you're going to love it on everyday torque situation. Well, the G3R, they say, is more efficient. Right. At 7,800 RPMs. But power under the curve, I would rather have the G3X. All right, I'm going to get out of here. So, I got to get ready. I got to pack. And I'm going to, get up to Lund Racing, hang out with them tonight, have dinner, all that stuff, catch up. Try to get some video in the morning. Do vlog-style videos. Again, do not expect any talking shit, YDBT Daily, or dating channels next week. I am going to be in Maryland supporting the Lund Racing crew, attempting to go sixes and compete in the Street Fighter class at Haltech World Cup. I'm going to represent there. Hopefully make a good showing. I'll try to get you guys as much stuff and info and video as possible. I'll be bringing my laptop. I'll be bringing all the stuff. I'll bring in the GoPros. I'll bring, you know what? No GoPros. No GoPros. It's just one extra thing I got to fuck with. It's just going to be this camera, vlogging, nothing else, and try to get video on that. So it makes it easier on me, and I can get you potentially daily updates, and I'm going to try to do that, even if I have to stay up till 12 midnight, 1 a.m. to get you guys the proper video. I want to try to keep you guys updated as to what's going on. If you're on that 6, that's the goal. And after that, it's just qualify and try to make a couple of rounds in the Street Fighter class at Haltech World Cup. All right, guys, have a good rest of your Sunday. I will see you guys probably in a week or so. And the week after that, we're going to do Mod Nationals. Ugh. So I might be around the following Tuesday and maybe the following Thursday. I'll be back live and probably have no voice. So we'll see how I end up. And I'll probably be sick. I'll probably get COVID 15 times and all that shit. And a cold because I'll be up in Maryland, of all places. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Enjoy it. I'll be up at World Cup next week. So no live shows, but plenty of videos to look forward to in the upcoming days. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys in a week or so. See you later. Bye.